All right, guys, we're back with some Beaver and Son Garage, and we appreciate you coming back. So this is another Mr. Obvious video, and we have to do this from time to time to try to keep our trolls and our scum, trash shitter talkers in line. So one particular individual, we're going to call him Davy Jones. He won't shut up, so we'll have to take him to school here. He says, "Why'd you cut the exhaust system off the motorhome that went to the generator?" Well, because it's got some cool 1.5-inch pipe. You might be able to use it for another car. Of course, you knew that, didn't you, Davey? No, you didn't, because you're a dumbass. Because you don't know anything. Now, we're talking about a guy here that drinks and continues to drink himself to death, okay? Because he knows it all, but he continues to drink alcohol until the final will happen. He'll have probably a heart attack or a stroke or cancer from all that alcohol. Of course, he's already got some health problems, don't you, Davey? What was that? Not too long ago, you couldn't smoke. Yeah, you couldn't smoke your whatever it is you smoke. You couldn't smoke no more. You said it on your channel. I happened to see it. Yeah. So he's such a know-it-all. He says, "Why'd you cut that exhaust system off?" "Because you could use it on something else." "You dumbass!" And we took the exhaust system off the truck too, because it had a 440 in it, which has got the big 2.25-inch exhaust pipe. Same reason. You can use this pipe in something else. Maybe you could use that muffler on something. The dry shaft, we took that off. Maybe we could sell that. Facebook Marketplace. There might be somebody's got a 73 Superior with a 440 that needs a dry shaft. Spare parts. Dumbass. Of course, you knew that, though, didn't you? No, he didn't know that. He didn't know shit. He thinks he knows it all. Well, we're talking about a gentleman here that has a motorhome that takes 4 people to put a battery in, okay? And we're also talking about a gentleman that doesn't even know how to operate a jump box. He bought a piece of shit Chevy Caprice from a gravel pit. Boy, that must have been a good car. Out of a gravel pit. Belonged to some old people. It probably smelled like shit inside. They shit and farted and pissed in there. And he got in there and wallered in it, because that's what he smells like, shit. So he's right in with it, shit's in with shit. So he buys this piece of junk car and thinks he's really got something, and it won't run. So he's got his jump box out there, and it's a piece of shit jump box, and he don't even know how to operate it. And then when he, is going to get something done, he can't do it himself. He's got to have 4 people help him, and he's got a bunch of know-it-alls that don't know nothing either. It takes 4 of them to put a battery in. And I think they worked on it half the day just to get a battery in a motorhome. Dave, you're just a piece of shit, Dave. That's all you are. That's all you're ever going to be. Then we got these other ones. Now, let's go back a little ways. Aston, when we first was introduced to him, he had long, greasy hair, filthy, dirty, because he never took a bath, and he never took a shower, and never washed that mop of his. And I feel like I've done him some good, because I pointed that out to him. And you know what he did, guys? He cut his hair. He cleaned up, yeah. And, of course, I noticed his teeth was all rotted, so I said something to him. Better get to a dentist about them teeth. Of course, he didn't. He just continued, them crooked teeth he had, just continued to, shovel it in until them teeth all rotted out, and now he's got a whole mouthful of rotted teeth, just like his daddy did. And let's talk about his daddy. So his daddy, he's a fat, slimy piece of junk, too. Like father, like son, they're both slimy. And they go around, they cheat people, and they cheat people out of money. Yeah, that's what they do. They even cheated their own cousin. Their cousin had a couple Valiants. They wanted the engine swapped over into one. And so they swapped it over all right. No, they didn't. They cheated their own cousin. And, of course, the cousin is so pissed off at him, won't talk to him anymore. And that's what kind of people they are. They're cheats, they're robbers, they're thieves, they're crooks, they're liars. They're all on drugs, I think, too. I think the other set is on, too. Now, my brother now, he's in with them all. So, hey, he's the one that stole the family fortune. He's the one that stole from his mother. He's the one that stole. People are still trying to say it was me. No, 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 no. He changed the will. So he cheated actually his own nephews out of millions of dollars. He cheated his own nephew. The will was done. It was written by my mother. My father had he had dementia. He had something they called sundowners, but it was dementia is what he had. So, and I think he had Parkinson's too. But anyways, my dad he didn't know where he was coming or going. He didn't know what he was doing half the time. When he was told that my brother and my sister was throwing all his personal artifacts out of the house and into the trash, he told me and he told my son, both of us, he said, get a gun and shoot the bastard. Yeah, his own son. Of course, we found out, and they didn't talk about it. Mom, Dad didn't talk about it, but, it was the same mom that I had, with my brother, but it was a different dad. His dad was Glenn Hoffmeister. And I remember as a kid growing up, this guy started coming around. And I didn't ask anything, I just, mom and dad or mom and dad. I didn't ask what was going on. And what it was, mom and dad weren't getting along. So they had separate, open relationships. They had separate relationships while they were still married. So mom started hooking up with this guy called Glenn Hoffmeister. And when Matt was born, Glenn Hoffmeister was gone. I mean, he was out of there. He didn't see him anymore. And I remember when I was about 9 years old, he was coming around. And he would pick me and my sister up and take us around in this cool Model A Ford he had with a rumble seat in it. And I used to like to sit in the back of it because I never sat in a car with a rumble seat. And it went maybe 30 mile an hour top speed. It was, kind of rough riding, but I mean, it was a Model A. It was cool, and I thought the guy was cool. I didn't realize he was fucking my mother, I didn't. No one ever told me that. I had to figure that out on my own. But I do remember mom telling me many times that dad was rude to women. And, well, it was true. He was rude to mom. Other women he wasn't rude to. But to mom he was. He was rude to her. And, I don't know how many times that my older brother, Randy, had to break up fights between them and get in the middle of it. And, of course, defending mom. And then when he passed away, the torch was passed to me. And I defended mom, and I didn't know any of that, in those days. I knew that this guy was around. I was only a kid, maybe 8, 9 years old. I didn't really understand. This guy was, screwing my mother. I had no clue, But, I mean, a lot of people in those days got divorced. And my parents decided to stay together and keep the lie alive, that they're, together and they love each other. They didn't love each other. Not in the sense of, of that, Mom told me many times, Dad's rude to women. Yeah, that's true. He was rude to one. You, Mom. That was the only female he was ever rude to. I was around my dad for years. I used to go with my dad on the brick truck. I used to work with him every day. And I used to see what he did, and who he talked to, and how he treated people. So there you guys go. Mr. Obvious back with a vengeance. These guys are on drugs. They're so messed up on this shit that they're taking. I don't know exactly all the, drugs they're on. I'd probably say it's meth, and I think that maybe they're dropping a little acid or something because they're tripping. I mean, I know this David guy, he's in some kind of time warp or something, And he's got the most filthiest mouth. I remember one of his people that were, I guess, on a live broadcast said, "You're sick." Yeah, he is sick. She was right. He's just sick in the head. He's sick individual. So I hope that helped you guys. If you know who I'm talking about, already know that these guys are really pathetic, and they go around, they cheat people, they rob people. I'm talking about not the David clan, the other clan. I don't know about David as much. I'd say him and his father probably would do the same. They'd take advantage of you if you gave an opportunity. They seem like they're crooked, and I believe he was from Florida, and then he moved to supposed Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, sure you live in Boston, dude. You don't live in Boston. No. No, you probably live in like Jersey or something, New Jersey or something, probably where you live at. That's where all them cretins live at, in Jersey. All right, guys, so that's it. Wanted to come on here and vent a little bit on our rant video here with Mr. Obvious. It's only obvious these guys are scum. They're sickos. Like Michael Jackson's, yes, Wacko Jacko. These are, wacko fucking sicko. Davio. What, Davio? Yeah, you're sick, Dave. Need some help, you really do. But you're probably starting to realize that karma's going to take care of that for you. So ain't no help going to help you. It's been raining. It's been nasty. We got puddles out here from all the rain we've been getting. Hopefully it'll dry up. I can get back to some more weed whacking and some more work for you. And of course, our haters, they say, oh, he'll never put that bumper on that Mustang. In your face, Dick Tracy. Oh, he'll never pull that engine out of that 440. In your face, Dick Tracy. I don't know how many times that we've had to take these punks to school. But we're going to continue to do it until we get our lawsuit. And once we get our lawsuit on these guys, we're probably going to back off of them a little bit because the lawyers are going to take care of that. And of course, when I win the lawsuit, for defamation of character and harassment and, everything else I can think of. Because they're so stupid that he left a bunch of messages in the mention box for YouTube. And I got them all. I got all the messages he sent me. So I'm going to use that as my basis for harassment, plus the videos from his channel. Which his channel's a joke. He's a joke. And they got this Matthew Decker. Decker, you're a piece of shit, dude. You're just pure fucking shit. You need to mind your own fucking business. Stay the fuck out of my business, that's for sure. And you too. I've seen your mentions. Now you're blocked. Yeah, you can't message me no more. So good luck with that one, Bear Dicker. Matthew Dicker. Hey, maybe you and my brother can get together and have a circle jerk. 2 Matthews together. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye. They wish they had some cool shit like this sitting down this back wall here. They ain't even got nothing that cool. It's raining. Gotta go in. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.